Hello back on the channel. This is your Oliver, with a little follow-up on the Securities and Exchange Commission's appeal against Ripple. Why I am still bullish, I will get to that towards the end of the video. So stick around, watch until the end, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, and share the video as well. Now it's full steam ahead, folks. Help people recognize where the journey is heading, and that is towards the future and DLT. Now, however, the Securities and Exchange Commission under Gary Gensler has several voices, and more things that have happened. And then I look beyond the horizon again so that we can focus on what is really important, because I have received an incredible number of comments. Thank you very, very much for that. And I just want to think outside the box once again. I am a holder, I am an investor, invested in XRP in the future and not in next week. So back to the topic. Yesterday, the Securities and Exchange Commission filed an appeal. And it's very important to note that this is the letter published by James K. Phelan. Phelan states that the Securities and Exchange Commission is appealing the ruling of Judge Torres from August 7th. This is about the ruling of the remedial judgment. It is not about the summary judgment. So always remember, the summary judgment is that XRP is not a security in and of itself. That is why we have regulatory clarity. It certainly disrupts the business development and further expansion of Ripple. But the fact is, it is decentralized. And now Ripple will just have to push through, as they were the ones sued and not the ecosystem. It would also be interesting to see how they plan to do that. So now I will move on to the first reaction, one of the first from others. Because there are no coincidences. Friends. An interesting timeline. Octi 1. Bitwise files for an XRP ETF. Octi 2. The Chief Enforcement Officer of the Securities and Exchange Commission resigns. He remains until October 10th. 1 hour later, the Securities and Exchange Commission files an appeal. A. Gensler has turned the Securities and Exchange Commission into a circus. It's just unbelievable. There are also an incredible number of reactions here. The Chief Enforcement Attorney of the Securities and Exchange Commission was, I believe, before Congress about a year and a half ago, and he answered every question with, "I don't know, it's not my department." And secondly, ongoing case. I can't comment on how the Securities and Exchange Commission operates. From Congress, as they always do. I can't say it any other way, folks. Embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Johnny Deaton, who is currently running for the Senate, also has a reaction. He goes into detail about everything he has done, what had happened. 2001, his amicus. Again, the references to the differences, that the Howey test is not fulfilled. But here I will address the last 4 paragraphs. The judge overseeing the disclosure in this case, which refers to Sarah Netburn, in the sentence, ruled that the Securities and Exchange Commission lawyers do not serve the law faithfully, and essentially labeled them as hypocrites. I call them downright unethical. Let's not forget that the Securities and Exchange Commission's lawyers were sanctioned by a federal judge in the Depp Box case. Parenthesis, they lied to the judge. Parenthesis. Clearly, I am not the only one who thinks this way. Almost 4 years after the Securities and Exchange Commission sued Ripple and made the ridiculous claims mentioned above, the SEC lawyers in another case, specifically in Binance, apologized for claiming that tokens themselves were securities. Footnote 6. As the Securities and Exchange Commission pursues an anti-crypto agenda, it will now waste more taxpayer money. Gary Gensler is a disgrace. And if you think that they can just pull from the tax pot whenever they want, no, it's not that simple. Have I heard Ash is voting? They can keep going until doomsday. They have enough money? No. The Securities and Exchange Commission has a budget, and I believe, as far as I know, it has already been exhausted. So if the Securities and Exchange Commission wants to continue here and seek more money, they will need to go to the House of Representatives, which is led by Republicans. Well, when I think about it, the angry letters from Tom Emmer and all the others, Huizenga and whatever their names are, well, they will still give them more money. That's just how it is. It's a joke. Yes, if you ask me. But then we come to a reaction from Jeremy Hogan, and I ask people to flood him with messages. He writes, "Oh Lord, do I have to start making videos again? Yes, please do it because they are the best videos ever." But here are some initial thoughts on the Securities and Exchange Commission's claim. First, a major mistake by the SEC. An appeal will be filed against the programmatic sales decision, and if it wins, it will receive more money from Ripple and have protected no one. Ripple will bring its blue sky law into discussion, and if it wins, the Securities and Exchange Commission's ability to regulate the entire cryptocurrency space will be essentially destroyed. This is the issue of precedent. No good risk assessment by the Securities and Exchange Commission. It would make for a poor stock trader. Secondly, this is an appeal by law, not like the existing temptation of the SEC. The presiding judge cannot dismiss the appeal. Thirdly, it is very likely that the Securities and Exchange Commission will lose. Statistically, there is the argument that no ruling by Judge Torres has ever been overturned by an appellate court. They have all gone back and been upheld. In principle, only 10% have been changed or returned with a request for modification. So it's not as great as it looks. Especially with Judge Torres, who has a 100% success rate. Moving on. Also, due to the fact-based manner in which Judge Torres has written her statement, she referenced the Howey test. She did not mention all 4 points just now. Never forget, this ruling, this $125 million ruling, is actually a gift for the Securities and Exchange Commission. Fourth, even if the Securities and Exchange Commission were to win the appeal, it is very, very likely to be just a matter of money. Nothing would change regarding XRP and its use by Ripple. Fifth, in a few weeks we will know which topics or which topic the Securities and Exchange Commission is appealing, and then it must submit its first brief by mid-December. It will and cannot be addressed that XRP is not a security. It is important to pay attention to whether the Securities and Exchange Commission appeals the injunction. A decision from the appeals court will not be made before the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026. I posted a few months ago that it would take until summer 25. I was wrong about that. I'm sorry. Seventh, if you are wondering, he wrote fourth twice, I believe. So, I think he can't count. I refuse to believe that the announcement by Judge Grebel to leave the Securities and Exchange Commission on the same day the appeal is filed is just a coincidence, but I must be crazy. Eighth, the only hope that this will all be over soon, I agree with him, is if there is new leadership at the Securities and Exchange Commission. If Trump becomes president again, I will humbly take on the role of Director of Enforcement and realign the agency to protect it from fraud and thieves. I'm rooting for you, my friend. Not only a new presidency could change things and bring a quick end to this, but also a higher payment from Ripple. Because I stand by my opinion, this is all about money, and Gary Gensler wants to ride off into the sunset with his check. Well, then, let me get to the things that are happening, while we are all so terribly excited about this appeal. A small reminder. Before the Securities and Exchange Commission's lawsuit against Ripple, Ripple had a contract with Western Union. As a result of this agreement, collaboration took place and a contract was concluded with MoneyGram after the Securities and Exchange Commission dropped the lawsuit. Well, MoneyGram has pulled back, is with Stellar. I don't want to say they've gone to bed together, but well, what should I say? In any case, Western Union partnered with Ripple, then MoneyGram, and they subsequently withdrew. Well, and now in October, the Swell is taking place, the official partnership conference or event of Ripple. Only Ripple partners and people who are involved there speak, and who is involved. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob DeCampos, Chief Compliance Officer of Western Union. Anders has reacted. Western Union will perform on Ripple's wave in Miami. Has Western Union finally bowed down? That is, apologized. All XRP holders know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this MoneyGram story. All the more interesting when you consider that MoneyGram ended its partnership with Ripple when the Securities and Exchange Commission filed the lawsuit Yes, and now this good man is at Swell. Now we are not only talking about SVEL, as the Swift event is also taking place roughly at the same time. Swift posted the following yesterday, very bullish. Exciting news. Starting next year, financial institutions from around the world will begin testing live transactions with digital asset currencies over the Swift network. This is an important milestone on our journey to enable banks to conduct transactions across both existing and new types of assets and currencies beyond their current connection to Swift. Does the term real-world asset resonate with you as well? With the emergence of new forms of value, it is our intention to continue providing our community, namely the connected banks, with the ability to seamlessly conduct and track transactions of all types of assets, specifically using the same secure and resilient infrastructure that is currently an essential part of their operations. 2001, says Tom Zak, Chief Innovation Officer at Swift. Now some will say again, yes, but Chainlink, yes. Chainlink has been commissioned by Swift to ensure interoperability between DLT chains. That is why I believe it will not be a single chain. It will be multi-chain, and DLT will be implemented. And if a problem arises somewhere, like if someone suddenly says, we are currently experiencing a hacker attack, then Chainlink will ensure that one transaction goes to another. That's it. That's all. Chainlink is responsible for that. If people always think that Chainlink will replace Ripple here, Chainlink is doing nothing. Chainlink does not have the ability to transfer funds or to be ISO conform, as they are not. So always stay calm and consider the whole situation. And now let's take a look at this dip yesterday after the appeal and see, oh God, how terrible, how bad all of this is. Here, as an example, it's not just XRP, HBAR has plummeted. Quant has plummeted, all showing the same price trend. So please, take a deep breath, a very deep breath. We are in a bear market, we are in a bull market, liquidity is increasing, more money is coming in, and it will still happen. The top part has always been such that it was always spotted on the side at the beginning. There have even been some setbacks, which means that the decline only started after 1 or 2 weeks. And then it went up so steeply that October ultimately performed extremely well in the monthly view. So don't let yourselves be misled here. As long as we don't have a third world war, nothing will happen. And now let's get to the topic of why I believe that XRP is still in a good position. Let's talk about the price. We are at $51.72 today, down $3.92. And now let's go to the view that you know. This is simply our symmetrical triangle. And we see that we have not broken downwards here, because all chart analysts say it looks really tight, it's going to be really brutal, and then the thing is going to explode. Here we have a breakout to the upside. You might be able to see. This is the one here. It has always broken out. What was that? That was the real USD, rumors, and the minting, and it caused quite a hype. Only the minting of the real USD for the test runs caused this. Those were just US dollars that went into new net inflows into XRP, ridiculous dollars, and that caused it. And anyone who still believes that this is the end, no, I don't think so. Now I will go over it again. Because we are down here and standing exactly in the middle of our triangle. Exactly. And down here, the lower support is at 0.40, 0.40. For now, we have 0.50 as support. If we break it down, it will probably go to 42.40. If we break through that, then we are out of the triangle heading south. However, I don't see that happening. I don't see it. The real USD is coming. We are seeing ETF filings. This case is completely for them. It's just ridiculous. They just want to say hello, check. Gary Gensler just wants to shine here. Nothing more. He knows exactly that if Kamala Harris wins, she will be the finance minister in 2021. I no longer believe that, or they are simply pursuing the agenda of their CBDCs. Okay, pay attention. They could continue to pursue their digital dollar, or Trump wins, or they might be out of the picture anyway. So, one way or another, the man is who he is. And he is also very well guided by Elizabeth Warren. Let's hope, Johnny Deaton, that you win, my friend. That's it from me. For now. I sincerely wish you all a good time, stay healthy, and please subscribe and like the video right in the comments. And help me grow. That's it from me. Have a great holiday. See you in the next video. Bye, friends.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple is the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they began using XRP in 2013, when the Federal Reserve started looking for faster payment options. 2 years later, an action plan was developed, and a federal payments tax task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple, in 2014, along with the World Bank and the Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative, given the country's opportunities for digitizing payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, the Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, What? Crypto is officially utilizing Ripple for their carbon credit solution. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025, called ISO 2022. Ripple was the first ISO 2022 member focused on distributed ledger technology and has partnered with over 300 financial institutions, including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, as well as the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple has a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve and another former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple is leading Australia's CBDC effort and has hired a former U.S. Treasury official, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board, 2 former advisors to Clinton and Obama, a former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, a former business director at Swift, a former Swift board member, a former CFO of PayPal, a former head of the DTCC, a former chief business officer at Uber, a former VP of Amazon, and a former SEC chair on their legal team. Ripple is a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's High-Level Advisory Board on FinTech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payment Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, Worldwide Web Consortium, and is a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team, directly listed on the WEF website. Does Ripple and XRP now sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.